Welcome back to another video. This is a SKREAM Magnum 24 1-of-1 in a cherry red, and it is sick. Clearly by Thomson, and us being a components-based manufacturer first and foremost, that companies like SKREAM, Hiller, bike brands will use our stuff on a multitude of platforms, and this is kind of the inception of that. And Kevin over at SKREAM Bikes was super cool. We reached out to him. I wanted a frame, and he was like, well, let's do a custom color. So he did this really sick red color. It's just a 1-of-1. And the frame came in, didn't do anything crazy to it. We just threw on stuff that I had. I used the SKREAM collar and SKREAM top cap, but nothing too crazy. Didn't cut the fork steer down, nothing. Just threw it on there. But it's not, in my opinion, the way this frame is supposed to be. This frame, it's not an aero frame. It's not a super duper racing frame. Even though SKREAM does have a racing team, this is just, in my opinion, how the Wins frame is supposed to look, even though it looks freaking dope. So we're going to take it inside in the Thomson headquarters, and we're going to fix it up a little bit. Just have some fun with it.
SKREAM!
Greasing up this again because I already had it built, but like it was just together. Did a couple rides on it, wasn't nothing crazy. That's the cool thing about fixed gear stuff is like, I don't know, it's just so simple to just change parts out, do stuff. Anywho, we cut it down. Boom, boom, boom. Think, oh, that's pretty short, but not really. Oof, oof. That right there is precision. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna use the SKREAM Top Cat still because it's pretty sick. This is a 110. I don't need a 110, I need a 130. So we're gonna go get a 130. Boom. This new G2 is sick. I freaking love it. That's what I did my bike packing trip on. Not a 130, I did it on a 110. Or 100? I think I did it on a 110. Yeah, 110. Anyhow, stem is sick. You should pick one up. Link in the description below. And all those issues people said they used to have with them, we fixed them. The tie bolts are just, they just kind of hit. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. I'm gonna grease every bolt. As you should, though. I mean, I don't know why people wouldn't. These are super nice, and I really like them. I have ridden square taper stuff. I have ridden cheaper stuff on both fronts. But this is just not the vibe of this bike. This aluminum bike, at least in my opinion. I have another build that I want to put these on. One of them is a Thomson Skeeter, which I think is going to look sick. And then I have another frame coming in the mail, actually tomorrow, from another company that we're actually going to do a collaboration with. So, anywho, for the time being, though, I will reuse those pedals because I do like these pedals. Until nothing was very tight. These pedals are really sick. Hold on. They came out, I don't know, when the new Shimano 12-speed came out, these came out, and they're actually the GRX SPD pedals. They're a lot more cost effective and solid. This build also is not your typical lo-fi music build, but we'll throw a little bit of it in right now. Right now, I gotta do a couple of things. I think I'm gonna start I say it's nice, but this is a rubber and I'm not gonna do it tight. Now, one thing about this frame is that this paint color is, in the sun, it looks extra crazy. And, but since we're using the SKREAM seatpost collar, or the SKREAM top cap, I'm gonna switch out the seatpost collar for something else. Not something else, but just a Thomson one, because it's what I want. Woo! And I really don't need a 410. That's huge. I'm gonna get one of ours, and I'm gonna see what it. I'm gonna see how it compares. So we're trading out the SKREAM one. It's cool though, but I'll probably put it on. I'm gonna keep it anyways. It's cool for this guy. I don't know. I think the lines on this just are gonna complement this frame and the other stuff going on this frame. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I decided I'm gonna keep the 410, well, because it's here, and it's 31.6. It's not a 27.2. So this is actually a 31.6 seat tube. Let's get it. Ooh, that's smooth. I don't know how high I want it. Let's see. Whatever. It'll buff. It'll buff. And you should always use the correct torque spec. Always use that correct torque spec. But I'm not right now, just because I'm not. But also, if it breaks, it's on me. Okay, cool. Now, wheels. These wheels are super nice. And this frame does deserve nice wheels, but I got some other wheels for this frame. I'm gonna use these for something else too. If you're planning on doing a bike build of any kind, be sure you plan out adequate time to do the bike build. What does that mean? It means that if you think you're gonna get all your parts in and they're just gonna all fit, and they're all gonna work, all gonna mesh together from different companies and everything's just gonna flow right, and just gonna be right, you're wrong. You're gonna come into some hiccups, you're gonna forget some adapter or something, or you're not gonna have the right tool. You need a whole day to build a bike. Unless you've done it a lot, and you have all the tools that you could possibly ever need and all that kind of shit. But for the most part, you need a whole day. No matter what you're doing. And it's just less stressful. Just pick a rainy day, build a bike, turn on some music, have some fun. Unless, of course, you work at a bike store and you gotta do like 6 a day. So I just do it for fun. So I have this set of wheels, DT Swiss T1800s aluminum with a 17 tooth cog, Euro Asian 17 tooth cog in there, boom, with a DT Swiss lock ring. And surprisingly enough, these wheels are advertised as tubeless. And I said, why not? It's got a flip hub too, so boom, boom. Those do too, actually. Actually, this is pretty cool. The Boyd track wheels actually have they use a Shimano lock ring, and this cog is microsplined. And then, or you can flip it for a threaded traditional cog and lock ring, so pretty cool. It says 32C, or 30, a little bit more than 32C. These are 32C Maxxis refuse tires, not really track tires, but I had these 700C tires in a 32C. I had these wheels, and they're tubeless tires on tubeless rims, so why not? As you see, I do run both, tubes and tubeless. To me, it doesn't really matter, especially for track, because if it pops, it pops. These are tubeless, so they do have a lower pressure rating. Only 75 PSI, but I don't know. They seem fast, and they seem comfy, which is the other thing. 32C, comfy tires. I like this because of the white, and I also wanted the accents to be white. This is really cool. This is impressed. This is impressed into the frame or into the head tube. It's probably just stamped, coming from a manufacturing background. That's super cool. So they did this in white. They did this in white. I thought they were gonna do the SKREAM in white, but they didn't, which, whatever. I kinda like it. I like the way it turned out. So the white and the white, booyah. Now, for cranks. And also I kind of went with the same white for the cranks. Don't mind the mess back here. It is a biker's paradise. Boom, boom, boom. You know I had to pull them out. This aluminum bike, Omniums look phenomenal, and they also ride phenomenal. It's pretty greased already because it's been in other frames. Doing the due diligence of a bike mechanic, of a garage bike mechanic. It's just the, for some reason that outboard, this thing pops out. This pops out on that side sometimes. It's just like it's just a spacer. We gonna get it. I will say though, the thing about this frame just looks really nice. I ain't gonna do much. Ain't nothing but a little dab. Just gonna rub it around, be sure it's all nice and good. Boom. Yeah, nice. I don't know why they ain't gonna make these again. Or if anyone is ever gonna make these again. Why not? Oh yeah. Look at that grease. And they've been installed and they've been ridden, which is crazy that there's still that much grease on them. So my thought on leaving the chain a little bit longer on this build was because these are 32C tires, the 49.2 chain ring, I assume it would bring it in maybe about that much, bring it in a little bit tighter, maybe about to there. My clearance would be pretty good, but I wouldn't be all the way dropped out. Maybe not that close, probably won't be that close, but I still got a good bit of room here. You can put a rear brake on it. Why would you? I don't know. Oh, that's actually a good point. But there's no way to route the cable. You have to like zip tie the cable along or something, figure out a way to get it if you were to run a rear brake, which I don't know why you would on a fixed gear bike. Okay, we're gonna tighten up front wheel a little bit. Yeah, 32C clearance in there. You might could fit a 35 in there. You could probably fit a 35 in there if you had to. This is a 32. And this 32 seems very bulbous, so maybe a cyclocross tire would fit. But the SKREAM also makes a Ranger, which is meant more for that, but just do that. Yes, these are greased. I have taken these GRX pedals on a couple rides, and they're just super chill, super easy, not too expensive. Booyah. I wanted that 49.2 chain ring. I got this saddle, one of the first saddles I ever bought. I love it, Brooks C17, black and cambium. Like, it's just super simple, and I figured for this build, since I don't really have anything I'm using it for, I'd use it. Loosen this guy, get it, maybe. I think this fits it a lot better. Slamming the stem gave it a whole new look. The longer stem gave it a whole new look. I think that's super good. Yeah, so the only thing here that's any different from what we changed earlier is the wheels, crankset, chain ring, bottom bracket, and the seatpost collar, and we took some weight off the front. So I should have did a before and after weight. I didn't, but we'll just see what it weighs now. We're at 17 pounds, 11 ounces, and if we Do the other one, 7.97, almost 8 kilograms. So it's not light. It's not heavy either. A couple of things to get the weight lower is what I could do. I'm not a weight weenie, I don't really care. But I know this post is sticking down in here like this much because it's a 410. Could definitely shorten that up. Cut the weight there. Smaller tires, maybe we'll cut the weight. I am running tubeless. That's more weight. I bet these wheels, I don't know if these wheels are more than the Boyds or not. They might be, but went with a longer stem, so that definitely added some weight. Aluminum bars. There's ways to cut the weight. A lighter saddle. If you notice one thing about this frame is that there's white accents, and the point of the white accents was because I saw SKREAM did a promotional video, and there was one that was like this red, peachy, pink one, and they had white accents all over it, and they had a special wheel set with it. So, of course, SKREAM was cool enough to send me these, and I don't know how I feel about them. I think they're kind of sick. They're kind of sick because if you look at that video, we'll put a little clip of that video there, but this is kind of what they had. And Kevin, I was like, yo, Kevin, like, what wheels were those? It'd be cool to like replicate that build. So he got his friend to make these. So this is my custom one-of-one SKREAM Magnum 24, straight from Hong Kong, and it turned out mint. The white wheels are definitely a looker. They complement the frame really well. What Kevin did, I was imagining this to be white, to match this white, to match this white on the SKREAM head badge, and then with the white wheels. So the frame is actually painted white to match this because of the inspiration, and we made some changes to it. Cut the fork down, put a 130 on it. Obviously the wheels, obviously the tires, we got tubes now, gator skins and tubes. Took off the rotor cranks, put on some omniums. The omniums look fantastic on aluminum frames like this. Same pedals, yeah, nothing too much has changed. Thomson seat post collar. We just kind of cleaned it up a little bit and threw on these wheels because Kevin was nice enough to send them to us all the way from where the headquarters of SKREAM is in Hong Kong. So that was very nice of him. Yeah, I mean, I looked online for this frame, or like reviews on the frame, all the stuff. I couldn't really find much. So I was like, you know what? If someone's curious about it and you want to see what you could do with it, there's something that you could do with it. Maybe not this paint job, but seeing it up close and in person, I figured some people might appreciate that because I definitely would appreciate seeing someone else talk about it. So here it is. Enjoy.